all started on a Tuesday evening, a week before our usual Friday date night. Chloe, my girlfriend of 2 years, was curled up on the sofa, lost in her own little world, her phone in one hand, a half-eaten bowl of popcorn beside her. She looked peaceful, maybe even a little bored. I walked in, a mischievous glint in my eye. I had no idea that what I was about to say would change everything. "Forget dinner and a movie this Friday," I said, leaning against the doorframe with a grin. She looked up, eyes narrowing, curious, but already smiling. "An adventure?" she asked. "Like a hike, or a quest for the perfect burrito?" God, I loved that about her. She could take anything, even a mystery, and make it sound like fun. But this time, it wasn't just fun. It was the start of something we never saw coming. I grinned. "Better. It's a mystery, a journey, something you've never done before, and it ends with a surprise." Her eyes lit up, exactly the way they always did when something unpredictable crossed her path. She loved puzzles, loved surprises, and yeah, she definitely loved me most when I was being unusually secretive. "Okay, I'm in," she said, smile teasing her lips. "But if it involves a clown, I'm out." She said it as a joke, but looking back, maybe that was the first warning. "No clowns," I promised, hands raised in mock surrender. "Just us and the unknown." Friday arrived, crisp and clear, like the beginning of a story that didn't know how it would end. Over breakfast, I handed her a small, sealed envelope. Inside was a folded piece of parchment, the paper stained and crinkled to look ancient, like it had survived centuries of secrets. She unfolded it slowly, her eyes scanning the lines of elegant calligraphy. It was a riddle, the first clue. The parchment felt old, like it had waited years to be touched again. Chloe held it gently, her eyes scanning the lines, each word wrapped in riddle and wonder. "Where the city's heart first beat, and old stories reside, find the stone sentinel, with history as its guide. Look to its gaze, where the sun first appears, a whispered secret, to banish all fears." She looked up at me, eyes sparkling with suspicion and excitement. And just like that, the game was on. Chloe stared at the parchment, eyes scanning every line like it held a key to a hidden world. Her brow furrowed, then lifted, the spark in her eyes unmistakable. "Okay, city's heart, old stories, stone sentinel." She paused, then lit up. "This sounds like the old town square." Her voice rose with certainty. "The statue of the city founder." "Bingo," I said, smiling behind my coffee. First stop. And just like that, the game wasn't just on, it had begun. We grabbed our jackets, a small backpack with water, snacks, and curiosity. There was no rush, no real destination, just a riddle, a path, and the quiet promise of something waiting. The energy between us was effortless, that kind of unspoken rhythm you build over time. Laughs shared over midnight pizza, fights that ended in hugs, movies half-watched, but fully remembered. But this morning felt different, like the world was holding its breath, like a chapter was turning, and we had just stepped into the story. The old town square was alive, buzzing with vendors, street musicians, and the lazy chaos of a sunny day. She circled him like a detective working a cold case, fingers trailing across the stone base, eyes scanning every worn edge like they held a secret. And somehow, even in the middle of all that noise, it felt like it was just the two of us, caught in our own little mystery. I didn't know if we'd find anything, but I knew, without a doubt, that wherever this trail led, it was going to be unforgettable. But Chloe only had eyes for the statue. Mayor Thompson, all bronze and self-importance, staring stoically east, like he still ruled the city. She whispered it like a spell. "Sun first appears." Eastward gaze. Then her eyes stopped, locked onto something I hadn't even seen. A tiny carving, no bigger than a coin. A bird, wings tucked, perched mid-flight, and beneath it, numbers, faint, but deliberate, etched into the stone like a secret waiting years to be read. She knelt down, fingers brushing it like it might disappear. "Got it," she said, that grin I knew so well spreading across her face. "It's a phone number." I didn't know who or what would be on the other end, but I knew this wasn't just a game anymore.